That's all the membrane, the rubber roof areas.
So this is to put a roof on the entire building?
No.
No?
Just the isolated, matter of fact, I think they're highlighted there.
Yeah, okay,
This would just be the rubber roofing on the flat sections.
okay.
How old, the metal roof's not that old, right, Mario?
Correct. The rubber roof, I think this is actually the second rubber roof that was on that structure.
Okay.
I want to say it's probably close, Paul, now to 15 years old, existing.
Plus, did this rubber roof have that metal roof installed over it? What I mean is, were the guys walking on it?
Sure. Yes, it was down when they placed I think the steel roof, the raised seam roof is only, I want to say 7 to 8 years old.
Okay.
Okay. You guys want to put this into form of a motion to get the work done?
Yeah. I got one question.
Sure.
I think this is fine. There's a question that I've been asked that I'd like to get answered. I want to go forth with this, but the way I understand it, I was hoping Aaron might be able to answer a question tonight. But did the adult center get a grant to help with the roof cost? And if they did, could that be worked into this? Somehow I'd like to make that motion to where I want to okay this job and go forth with, I think the low bidder is very capable in doing this job in this case.
If that would be your wishes, what we can do is I can have the contractor invoice us less whatever that grant amount is. It might be the simplest way.
Are you talking about the AEP grant they got?
I heard it, and he's in the audience, I heard it was a UCB donation or grant, whatever you want to call it, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
That came from the public, so, and I don't know how long ago, I don't know if it was used for repairs of the roof a while back to try to keep it from leaking, but I would just like a little research, and if it's the case, maybe that could share in the cost of this, but if it was used for something else, I just kind of want a clarification on it, that's all.
We have no problems to monitor that. I mean, you may make that motion to reflect that, and we'll have them bill whatever the difference is.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to go forth with the project with the consideration made to a possible grant, if somebody would research that.
Okay. And take Hutchinson's
I think the low bidder is very capable of doing the job, so it'd be Hutchison.
I don't think they did.
There's one other question I would like to bring up and ask, and input from staff. Somehow or another, in the next budget, I would like to start a building depreciation fund for the adult center, whether it go to them. Somehow or another, I want it tied back to where we can, we get a vote and we get a say on what work gets done, but I want to make sure that in the future, I don't know what the proper number would be, $5,000–10,000 a year with a maximum, maybe a ceiling on it. Once it reaches a certain height, that it gets cut off. But I just want to see that building taken care of.
Is it mainly to do repairs on the building is what you want to do, have this fund for?
We're going to have air conditioners coming up. We've got ceilings to fix now. We got some flooring work to do. There's other things in that building that I'd like to see done, but I would like to see it, you know, we don't have to do it all at once. If we give them a little bit of money, they can go. I believe we talked about going to Greendale and some surrounding communities, so I'd say let's make them work a little bit and see what we can do. And
They had, just one second, They have been approaching Greendale and the county, from what I understand, about some funding, because I had requested them to do that as well. But getting back to your request on the budget for money to be put into a fund, all that would take, and I'm not sure if there's a fund already created out there for them, but we can find that out tomorrow. But we can, develop a fund that we, whatever we determine to put in that fund each year that could be used for nothing but that building.
That would be, that'd make me happy.
Okay, that won't be an issue. It's good timing anyway, budget time, so. Okay. Okay. Mario, do you have?
I was basically the same thing. I was going to just make mention, you could put in a budget, just kind of earmark it for the adult center, just like we have, we're building a monument line item now for our structures.
And it would be held in our budget, not theirs, but when things like this come up, then we'd have money allocated for that. Good idea. All right, we'll check on that. Anything else, guys? Okay.
Mayor, you need to finish the motion.
I'll second.
I'm glad you're listening. All right, would you second?
Yeah.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. All right, any other new business that I'm not aware of? I didn't have any more. All right, old business, Mike Clark, you got about 3 or 4 or 5 things there?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. The first on the list is the miscellaneous concrete repair. We advertised that in the Register, had a mandatory pre-bid meeting. Today, we accepted quotes for that. We had a public quote opening. We had one quote turned in. That was by Nittenberg Concrete. It was a lump sum amount of $29,500. He had all the required information in his packet. We did go through and check his unit cost to make sure that they were all good prices and in line, and Mr. Todd and myself agreed that they were good, and we would like to recommend that this board go ahead and award that concrete repair project so we can get rid of some of the liabilities we have in town.
All right, any questions regarding that, guys?
Yeah, my question is we're gonna have a streetscape talk here in a minute.
Yes.
This concrete work, is it around trees and it's the humps and the
Some of it is, yes.
Okay. If we're gonna be, I guess my question is if there's a possibility that we're gonna be taking out trees, is there more concrete? Or is it gonna make anything different?
I don't think so. We had one local tree contractor came in just to demo, and now this will go out for advertisement, so there's no guarantees, but he demoed a new type of stump grinder because that was a big concern of ours, and we'll try to coordinate between the two projects, but I think you can do each of them independently without any bad side effects. So I think it's going to work out all right.
I know this is a big liability, so on this particular one, I would like to. We've talked about only getting one bidder, so we're going to work on that, right?
Right.
Well, and for the record, there were 5 contractors personally notified by me. There were 4 contractors that signed out packets, picked them up and signed them out. And 2 of the contractors, after they seen the extensive list, they just said they did not have time. One contractor, he was confused on the pre-qualification, and another one was just, I never heard anything back from the 5th, but I know they have numerous projects going on. I think it's just a timing matter.
I know Mr. Nittenberg, he's all business, he'll get in there and get it done, I know we need it done. I would like to recommend that we go forth with this concrete
All right.
part of it.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Next one.
Okay, we have, and I'm going to kind of touch on the first two after that. We have the Walker Avenue repair project and the Pribble Road improvement. Both of these, just for your information, both of these have been turned in to NDOT for the 50% matching grant application. We did get our asset management program completed and submitted along with that. And I think we do have a very good chance to get at least one, if not both of them, partially funded. So first off, I guess I'd like to thank Judy McAdams. She did a good job with that. But those two projects, like I said, we have a very good chance of getting them partially funded. But a little more description, the Walker Avenue, that's basically a dig out and replace. We do not have to remove the concrete, just dig out all the asphalt and the base material and get into the sub-base a couple inches. And we're going to put it back with a little bit stiffer spec on that in the mix, just due to the size of the trucks that use it daily, the fire trucks and the larger utility trucks. That project is approximately $90,000. And we do have the money to cover that. The next project is the Pribble Road improvement. That's basically from Bilby Road to Pribble Circle. We have probably 6 or 8 failed spots that are going to be dug out and repaired. We're going to have to install stormwater as you pull in on the old Pribble property. Put a small knee wall up, put a storm ditch in there, which will be riprap to help slow the water down a little bit. Then also 1.5 mil in overlay. That project will run approximately $137,000. And again, we do have funds to cover that project also. The next one, which Paul mentioned just a little earlier, is our streetscape improvement. It is a tree and stump removal project. The vast majority of the trees that are going to be removed are dead ash trees. We do have a handful of trees that are planted underneath our electric lines, and there's no way that we can maintain those. If you top them, they bush out. They're already hitting houses. So we have a total of, I think, 77 or 78 trees to get out, and the estimated cost on this is $46,000. And again, we do have the funds to cover this project. The next one is the street marking program. We got a good start on that, which was actually a carryover project from 2 years ago, actually. And we haven't touched our striping, which is thermoplastic instead of paint. Depending on the street, some 10, some up to 15 years since we've touched them. There are some safety issues without redoing the striping, and That is going to run us approximately $70,000, but that should take care of the entire town, and we'll be good for another 10 to 15 years. Again, we do have the funds to cover the cost of this project.
Let's stop right there first, Mike.
Yep.
You guys want to vote on these individually?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's start with Walker. Walker Avenue Repair Project. I need a motion.
I got questions.
Okay.
My questions is, you said we have the money, but you also said we might get a grant.
Correct.
How's that work if we already got the job done and they consider that first?
They actually told us at a seminar that Judy McAdams and myself attended, that even if we bid out and did the project this spring, it would still be eligible for funding. That, this is kind of thrown in this year. They've extended the deadlines twice because people have been having a hard time, but Kathy Eaton at NDOT said that even if you had a project completed before you submitted, it would still be eligible for the 50%. The only catch to that is we will have to transfer, if we get awarded this grant, we'll have to transfer some funds over to our rainy day fund. It has to be, our match has to be paid out of that fund. That's really the only stipulation that we have to deal with.
These particular ones, Paul, just, and I don't know if we mentioned this earlier, if Mike said it, this originally was coming out at $301,000. I think we were awarded by the state earlier. I think it was on June 1st, if I'm not mistaken, or July 1st.
Yeah, that, and we do have some budgeted lines also.
Right.
That we're gonna pull parts from.
I guess my other question is what are you asking us to okay for you to get permission to go out and bid these
To
things?
go ahead and put my packet together and advertise.
So in other words, we're still in that informational stage.
Well, if you authorize me to move forward, the next time I'm on the agenda will be for after a public opening to make a recommendation for an award.
Okay. And at that time, we'll know more detail what the project is, because Walker Avenue, for instance, the one thing I don't understand is why couldn't we strip the asphalt, go in and proof roll it, take out the areas that are bad? I mean, I know it's a bad street, I've been riding my bike on it.
Paul, just from years of experience, when you have failed areas like that, you can do that, but that's going to be good money spent unwisely, because it's going to fail again. There's a reason why it failed, and it's not because of the asphalt. It's because of what's below it, either contaminated base by either dirt or water, or the sub-base is inadequate. And we looked at trying to patch. There was just probably 70% of the street would have to be pulled up, and wasn't going to be enough left to patch and tie into. In fact, the cost would be less expensive now to remove it than try to get in and, take 70% of it out in 20 different locations.
Okay, and then as far as these numbers goes, that's a budget, that's not a for sure, because you're just
Not until you bid. Some of them I generated. One of them is an actual engineer's cost estimate.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion on those two for informational purposes only, that we go forth with Walker and Preble.
All right.
I'll second that.
Second. All right. Any, all those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Opposed? Motion will carry.
Before we move forward,
Yep.
I just got a question, and this is just more or less for me personally, because I live right there where that work's going to be done on Preble Circle. But is the opposite side of town of Pribble Road, is that still considered county?
Yeah, basically, once you pass Pribble Circle, the corporate line goes to the middle of Pribble Road, and where that happens, that is county jurisdiction from that point on.
Like West Harrison, half the road is in Indiana and half of it's in Ohio. This is, half of it's in the county, half of it's in Lawrenceburg?
Correct.
Okay. By any chance, is the county going to be held liable for any part of that, or is we just taking it on?
No, it is ours. Where the corporate boundary is on both sides of the road, that is fully our jurisdiction responsibility. Where the corporate line goes to the center, it is the county's jurisdiction and responsibility.
Okay. All right, we got the vote on that, right?
Yep.
All right, streetscape improvement. Questions?
Yeah, I got questions on that one. I've had a lot of input from a lot of people, and I tend to agree with them. We're fixing to take out 77 trees without talking to any homeowners. Well, we're in for a mess.
Paul, on replanting, I think that's when we're, Mayor, I don't think you're aware yet, but I'm going to have a project in that I'm going to submit for next year's budget to replant a different species of trees in those same locations. I think at that time it'd be a good idea to maybe even hold a public meeting for input. But on this removal, Paul, we've got safety issues. I mean, these are the city's trees, they're in the city right away. We're the ones that are going to be responsible if something happens and there's an injury to the general public.
Well, there's trees I know, there's a handful that definitely need to be taken out, but 77 trees, Mike, I think we need to back this up, or we need to speed up the process with a community meeting. We need to go around tying ribbons on these things, getting comments. I really feel like that we should do that first and let them know, are there sidewalk friendly trees for one thing? Are we going to be putting them back? I think we need to let the public know a little bit more what the overall plan is, because if we just go taking these trees out, you know as well as I do, we're going to hear it, and it ain't going to matter if we got a good plan or not.
Well, the only thing, and my only concern, there again, you guys call the shots. I'm just going to give you my opinion. Some of these ash trees might be safe a year from now, but some of them, we get a storm, ash is good for a certain period of time after it basically dies, the vascular system dies in. I mean, even for firewood, if you let an ash tree that the ash borer has killed, let it go 9 to 12 months, it's not even good for firewood. And it's getting to a point that I'm looking at it from a safety aspect. Now, if you want to do this, that's fine. It's just my recommendation is that these 77 trees need to be taken out.
You know, I don't know the time constraints, and it may not be any. I mean, taking a risk anytime you don't do anything, I guess. But I don't have a problem at all with the idea of, we can go tie ribbons around each one of them and then call a meeting, call a community meeting, let people.
I'd really like to do that, because I'll be honest with you, there's no reason why we can't get that done. All we gotta do is advertise it, let's have the meeting, let's get on it. We might be able to do everything on your schedule, but I'd sure like to get an impact from, there's a lot of people that don't want them trees taken out.
Well, I can make sure that this week we get ribbon marked around all the trees.
And we'll get a meeting set up.
And if you guys get a meeting set up, we'll just bring it back up under old business at the next meeting.
And we may even have to have a special meeting, I don't know.
But
may not get everybody in here.
But we can, we'll get them marked, and then I will postpone the advertisement of that.
Okay, I think that'd be better on that one.
Okay, so can I get a motion to table streetscape improvement.
Motion.
Second?
I second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Street marking program. Questions?
I mean, they sure do look good on Center Street where we redid them and everything. Are we doing parking lot sign, all the parking spots and everything? And when you say all over
The
town.
parking spots on the streets, yes, that is included in that.
Are we doing Ludlow Hill
Yes.
and
Now-
over across 50 over Main Street area?
Yeah, the majority of Ludlow Hill is a stop bar and 50 feet of double yellow per street on the hill. That's about all there is on the hill area. But that does cover those locations, except for Wilson Creek. There's a considerable amount to be done on Wilson Creek Road.
And then this is also put out for bid.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to, unless you got a comment.
No, I don't.
I'd like to make a motion to move forward with chasing the bid down.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. The next two, Mike, you want to talk about those?
Yeah, on those, I would actually like to table those for now and look at trying to get those in a budget next year. Possibly even go after some NDOT funds for that, but we have some land acquisition issues that we would like to work through first. So I guess I'd like to table that, but go ahead and get permission to go ahead and start working through some of the land ac issues so I can be ready for hopefully a spring project in 17.
Maybe the next meeting, we could come back and have pictures of what he's talking about, rather than just trying to explain it on that land act. Would that be reasonable to do? Just
I don't
get
know if I'm going to be able to have them for you next meeting.
Well,
This-
and if it could be in the September meeting if we're going to
Yeah,
table
it's-
it. I mean, I'm just saying if they
Been a
had,
4-year project, we can wait before you get back, and we,
I would think.
all right, I need a motion to table, actually, both of them that have to do with Front and Fourth Street.
Motion.
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are both tabled. Any other old business? Need a motion to approve the claims?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
All right. Parks and Playgrounds will start as soon as everybody's seated. Okay. August 1st, 2016, Parks and Playgrounds meeting. Could I get a roll call, please?
Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Member Aaron Cook. Member Mel Davis.
Here.
Member Randy Abner.
Here.
Member Paul Seymour Jr.
Here.
City Attorney Del Weldon. Utility Director Owen Clausen.
Present.
President Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
All right. Any announcements? Nothing? Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, Miss Jennifer Morton. Riverfront trail use. Hi.
I'm with Ivy Tech Community College, and on October 29th, we want to hold a 5K walk and run, and we'd like to ask for use of the Riverfront Trail and also for free use of the parking garage that morning from 7 a.m. until 11 a.m.
Okay, that's on October 29th?
October 29th, yes.
Questions from anyone up here? Nope. I'll entertain a motion.
Moved. Second.
The motion is for Ivy Tech to use the Riverfront Trail on October 29th. Got a first and a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Any other new business? Not on the agenda? Old business?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty.
I think it was Mr. Seymour some time ago was looking to get pricing on the play areas at Todd Creech Park. I met with the vendor last Tuesday. They were looking to be about $15 a square foot for the turf. I think I presented almost 3 months ago. I think the council or the board picked out the short nap turf. The square footage for that area is going to be about $35,000 per area. And that's just for the surfacing. So I don't know if you want to pursue. It's pretty competitive stuff. That's probably the best pricing for 2 vendors that we've got.
And that's, what, $35,000 per area?
Per area.
Is that the price that she's giving you?
Correct.
So that would be the job,
Correct.
okay. Do you have another quote? Is that what you said, or?
I had a vendor that supplied a quote, but won't stand behind the quote.
Okay. All right. So basically, you're recommending what the gal that me and you met,
Correct.
and she'll come in and do it. Now, are we gonna do any of the work, or is that her doing it all?
Now, we're going to actually do the concrete work. There's
Okay.
some removals that we're going to add some sitting areas for the parents and the adults, and hopefully later on, maybe put some shade structures in those sitting areas.
Or the way they were running around that day, is those concrete areas gonna be small enough to where it won't interfere with those kids running and?
They'll have to run through park benches probably to get
Okay.
in those areas. We'll keep it isolated from the play area. Per code, it's 8 foot, but we're going to be close to probably 18 feet back from a structure.
I mean, this is what I've been waiting on, guys. I mean, we put all these parks in, they're awful nice parks, and if we can't afford to do them, there's other things we don't need to be doing. So I would like you all to consider to let him move forth with this. I'm hoping this is a fall project, Mario, because I'd like it to be ready in the spring.
You know, October, we discussed with the vendor, I think you were present, would be the ideal time if their schedule's available.
Okay. Any other comments? Is that a motion, Paul?
I'll make a motion if nobody else got any comments.
So it's a total of $70,000
Correct.
for the Todd Creech Park.
Correct.
The motion is replace the playground
Play surface.
play surface for 2 different spots in Todd Creech Park at a price of $70,000.
I'll second that motion.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry.
And
Thank you, Mario.
I got one more question, Mario. Then are we going to be assuming then that pretty quick we're going to get some concrete prices from you? And
Correct.
will that be done before or after she's done?
We'll go in first with the concrete.
Okay.
That allow them, just like carpets, and allow them to meet up to our concrete surface. Because there has to be a transition bulkhead right there.
All right.
They'll tie into.
Okay.
Got another question, Kelly.
Oh, sorry.
bleachers.
Yep.
We talked some time ago about bleachers at Ludlow Hill Park for the Little League. We did get a price on repair. To repair the existing bleachers, we have them shut down, is $12,900. I would recommend to move with new ones as opposed to patch and repair. So this is not cosmetic, it's just structural repair for $12,900.
Those things are pretty rough looking. I went up and looked at them yesterday, or the day before yesterday.
Again, that's not
Talking
cosmetic.
about the ones up at the Pee Wee football field.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. We do have temporary barricades up to keep the public off and the kids off of them.
And just so you know, I've asked to have those things, not just the barricades, but to have the bleachers removed as well, based upon what your findings were, because if, in the interim for Pee Wee, we can haul some of the 4-H bleachers up there to.
Well, that was going to be my recommendation is to, and I've talked with the folks over at 4-H, is to borrow that portable set, maybe let everybody kind of touch, feel, and see how they work, if we want to move that direction.
Sure.
I
I think that's a good way to go, but I'm open to, anyone else have any suggestions? I just don't want to be caught at Pee Wee football starting and
27th, I think, is the first game. They're not for sure if it's going to be a home game yet, but 27th is scheduled for the first game.
How long does it take them to make a set of those bleachers?
For the portable, 60 days, the 90 days, depending what size.
And what's the price on those?
Roughly 40,000, depending again what size.
I mean, we ought to know how well they work. The 4-H loves them, don't they?
They swear by them. We've never actually used them for anything. We've tried to, but we just haven't had the occasion. But I think more and more events that we have downtown and up on the river, that they would probably be.
Could I make a suggestion? If you guys decide to go ahead and purchase these bleachers, that it's not something we really have to do this year. We can do it for next year's budget. And we, like we said, we can move up some temporary bleachers to fill the Pee Wee need for this year, because by the time they come in, Pee Wee season will be over anyway.
Correct.
So, okay, we can budget that. And then,
I've got pricing for bleachers up there for like 150 seats, possibly used for a permanent structure, and may take consideration of getting the mobiles. But again, and I will get those permanent structural pricing to you.
maybe next meeting, we can see some pictures
Sure.
of what we're talking about.
Pictures and prices?
Yeah.
Give us something to look at?
Pictures and prices.
Put together a
being
packet.
painted. All right.
Before we do that, I mean, any idea what type of seating, we're talking 300 people? Asking Pee Wee, it varies. I know Olin, he's accustomed, he's a coach. Maybe he has an idea what kind of crowd we're talking.
600-700.
Pee Wee Super Bowl?
Second leg game. I don't have any idea, Mario.
It varies, depending with the local teams. If you're playing Milan or whomever, it'll go from 70 people to 300 people up there, but it's not each game like that, so.
I can tell you, when I've been over to those games, that's why we put in those barriers to park in the grass, because everybody's parking in the grass. So they get a pretty decent crowds up there.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of them bring chairs, Then a lot of the parents are at the fence yelling at the coach, so.
So if the board would like, I'll kind of talk to the coaches and see what they recommend.
Sure. All right.
We'll put together a packet for your next meeting.
Okay, good. Thank you.
That's all I had, Your Honor.
All right. Any other old business anybody have up here? Okay, I'd like to get a motion to approve the claims.
So
Move.
Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next meeting will be the utility board for August 1st, 2016. Could I get a roll call, please?
Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Member Aaron Cook. Member Mel Davis.
Here.
Member Randy Abner.
Here.
Member Paul Seymour Jr.,
Here.
City Attorney Dale Weldon, Utility Director Olin Clausen,
Present.
President Kelly Malone,
Here.
and myself.
All right, any announcements? Nope, I'll cover it under committee report, Your Honor. All righty. I need a motion then, any announcements from anybody else up here? I need a motion then to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Committee reports.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I want to talk about the IMEA statewide lineman rodeo that we're hosting here. We're hosting the conference and the rodeo. Conference is 14th, 15th, rodeo 16th, 17th. Rodeo will be taking place up on High Street at the old Lotus site. Just want to remind everybody that we will take any and all volunteers that we can get for that event. So if you've got a church group or an auxiliary group or somebody that is interested in participating in that, if you've got a student who wants to get their hours for school, for their scholarship requirements, somebody, just see me about that and we'll get it organized. And appreciate it in advance. A couple of things in way of announcements. Due to the heat that we've had over the last couple of weeks, we have received quite a few calls from people on their utility bills. So due to the heat, we can expect an uptick in people's utility bills over these last few weeks. So just FYI on that, it has been considerably hot, very hot. We had a major leak, turned into kind of a major project up on Wilson Creek. They had to saw cut the road and do some excavating and things on Saturday. Crews are there, they've got that repaired. We've got a little bit more work to do there, but it's back in service. Also on Wilson Creek, we have been meeting with the county, talking about participating with the county in sewering some of the areas that are adjacent to city limits, where we have some failing or failed septic systems. County's leading the charge on these projects. They've got some ideas that are good ideas to accomplish sewering these outlying areas. There's other projects that they're interested in talking with the city of Lawrenceburg about participating in, not from the financial side, but in the management, the OM&R side ongoing. Thinking about this, they want to have their county sewer board meeting on the 18th of August. It might be beneficial if we could have a work session scheduled sometime between now and then to talk about some of these projects, get the utility service board's thoughts, maybe suggestions and ideas about how we might be able to accomplish that. I don't have a date selected for that, so if we could be thinking about that, I'll send an email out or get with the mayor and maybe we can get together and pick a date. But I'd like to have a work session and talk about some of these things and any other utility issues that maybe we'd like to go over projects. We expect the proximal metering project to start any day now. We had to make a couple small adjustments on that project that I think will actually expedite the project. It won't be a change in the price or the scope. It'll just be one of the steps in the process is that Terry's going to take. So that should start any time now. We will be reaching out to Proximo and coordinating with them, making sure that they're aware of our timelines, also so that they're past their busiest part of their production. And that's all I've got, Your Honor.
All righty. Any new business?
Not this time, Your Honor.
Old business?
No, sir.
All right, I need a motion to,
Can I ask a question under old business?
sure.
Are we making progress on our 80 or 90 customers? Where are we at? I get asked that every day. I just want to know if we're making progress.
We are. I was hoping Dale would be here this evening. I believe he was going to touch on that, but we have, per the board's request, we have fielded, I want to say, 4 different names of state-approved mediators. I've kind of left that with Dale to contact them, to vet them for appropriateness for our situation, and to basically come back to the utility service board with that. But we have we have gone and got the names. Dale has those, and he has made contact with those individuals.
Would it be okay if we update everybody at that work session we're going to have?
Sure, absolutely.
Paul, is that okay with?
Yeah.
Okay. That, I'm hoping that'll happen within the next week to 10 days, so,
Okay.
all right. Okay, any other questions or anything else under old business, guys? All right, I need a motion to accept the claims for approval.
So moved.
Second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Please stand for the pledge. Council meeting?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I want to bring to order the council meeting for the city of Lawrenceburg for August 1st, 2016. Could I get a roll call, please?
Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Member Aaron Cook. Member Mel Davis.
Here.
Member Randy Abner.
Here.
Member Paul Seymour Jr.
Here.
Police Chief Don Combs.
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Here.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Here.
City Attorney Dale Weldon. Utility Director Olin Clausen.
Present.
Mayor Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
All right, announcements. Streets, alley, and curbs. Aaron's not here. Finance, Tony Abbott?
Yeah, I went through all the claims. They seem to be in order, except I have one question on one.
Yes.
It's on page 12, check number 113209.
On page what now, Tony?
12. Check number 113209. Trinity Dry Cleaners. It says for vehicle wrap. Now, I know at the redevelopment meeting, they voted down that vehicle wrap.
Yeah, I don't know that was what it was particularly for. I know that we wrote a check, I think, for the van, correct, Brian?
Yeah, I think the van came in lower, so they will get the wrap with it.
Well, that would have been better for us. The board voted the wrap down because we thought it was unnecessary for us to pay for it. That was my opinion of the board.
We can check the minutes. I think it was up to,
They said the van was going to be $30,000, so they voted to buy the van for $30,000. The vehicle wrap, they voted down to pay for that. They said they didn't think that was for us to do that. That's in the minutes by some of the members' discussion.
we can check it. Because I know the original price of the van was $35,000, and you guys approved up to $30,000. That's what for the van.
Yeah, for the van.
But I don't know what the discussion was all about on the wrap, but we'll check the minutes.
Is that not right, Mike?
Yeah.
No?
That's right. Yeah, we'll check it.
So I don't think we should be paying for the wrap because that board voted not to pay for it.
Okay.
Other than that, they all seem to be in order.
Okay.
I think the decision, we were stretching it buying a van, and we sure gonna be stretching it paying for a wrap. We're gonna have everybody coming in.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Tony.
Uh-huh.
Anything else? Everything else okay?
Everything else fine.
Can I bring up something under streets, alleys, and
You sure can.
at the end of St. Clair, behind the BP, I was out and about this weekend. There's 3 homeowners on St. Clair Street. The homeless people have been arrested in this particular piece of property. I believe all 3 of them right now are in jail. However, there's a mess left behind. It is Lockridge's old property. There's some trash. There's a garage there that's got a roof caving in. I know the owner. He's a good, respectable fella. I don't know that he even knew all this was going on. But we need on this piece of property to get it cleaned up because the neighbors, when these people get out, I don't want them to have anywhere to go back. This kind of stuff's got to stop. It's happening in 2 or 3 spots around town. So what I'm hoping is, and I wish Dale was here tonight, but I'd like to bring it up to Carl and have him do something about it. I mean, I would like to send letters out to the owner. There's some vehicles there. I believe there's already some vehicles that's been towed possibly.
They've already been towed. I was there about a week and a half ago, and I got a hold of Mr. Fryman, and he marked some to be towed. I'm glad you're saying something about this, Satch, because the neighbors there are having a really rough time.
They're having a hard time. The garage is open. These guys go in there. They're living outside. This garage needs to be a roof on it. There needs to be doors on it. The windows need to be fixed and secured. We need to push this owner just like we would. And I really don't want to stop at just this owner. I would like some kind of an effort put around town that I would like an inventory, because I do not believe that it's fair to approach one homeowner. There's other homes in town, and I think that we need to put somebody on that, and I'd like to get some type of inventory and get Dale. I know they're working on it, I know you're working on it, Brian, but we need to somehow or another put this in motion. This right here is a big problem, right behind the BP. The guy was walking up and down the alley sizing everybody's property up. We just don't need to have that.
I know that he just sent out some letters in the last day or two. I don't know what the properties are right now, Paul. It could be that one, it could not be. I don't know, but I do know some. That's the first step.
Okay.
In getting those things into in the unsafe building ordinance that we got. Could
those letters and inventory be passed on to council, and would they mind if we have an address that we run across, could council members pass that on to who? Carl?
Pass it on to Carl.
Carl would be the one. I can give him an address, and then he can go forward on that.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yep. But I'll have him check which ones that were sent out and that one in particular, but.
Okay. That's all I had.
All right. Okay. Fire, Randy Abner.
Okay, I got this information from Johnny. Was a reminder to Special Olympics, Indiana, Ripley, and Ohio County fire truck pull, August 20th from 8 a.m. to 4. Along with the pull, there will be a touch a truck if anybody wants to display their equipment for the kids to view or touch. You find, right? Yep. So that's coming up here pretty soon.
When is that, August 20th?
August 20th.
What time is that?
8 to 4.
8 to 4.
You're going to have your team there, right, Mayor?
Yeah.
It's a busy day. We have the Lauren Hill also.
That's at 7:22, right?
4:30 in the morning.
4:30 in the morning. Oh. For him.
Do both, right?
Okay. Anything else, Randy?
That's all
right. Sir. Parks, Paul Seymour Jr.
I don't have anything. Fine.
All right, I need a motion to approve the minutes. Oh, wait, I got a couple things. Let me get mine real quick.
Okay.
Just want to let everybody know that we had an additional loan get paid off here in the last week, around $470,000. Yep. I think it is, right, Tyler?
Yep.
And we're going to have a budget workshop coming up in September. We'll get dates to you to see what works for you guys. Between now and then, I'll be meeting with all the rest of the department heads to finish up theirs. We've already met at least once or twice as that group. And then we need to have an LCD joint meeting, and I'm suggesting that we do that on September 6th. That's a Tuesday. That's our regular board meeting night because of Monday being the holiday. And so I'm suggesting that we meet at 5 o'clock with the joint meeting with the LCD.
I can't make it on Tuesdays.
Right. Okay. All right. What I'd like to talk about is updating them on the trail project, because I think they need to be updated as well as all of us of where we're at on that. So that's what I'd like to do at 5 o'clock. Any questions about that?
Can I ask a question on the trail project?
Sure, I think.
Several people from Ledlow Hill have asked me, there was talk a year and a half ago about Ledlow Hill tying in, but I didn't know the answer. Is that part of the trail project still a possibility, or is it?
It's part of the big project, yeah. The project we're going to update the LCD on and stuff is the tie-in with the Greendale. But, yeah, that is still a piece of that, but it's about an $8 million piece.
Well.
So I put that one like for.
I just don't know what kind of answer to give.
Well, I've had people ask me too, Paul, and I've just told them that it is still part of the project, but it's just a very expensive piece.
Okay.
It's extremely expensive.
Right.
It's probably the most expensive piece of the whole project.
All right.
So, I mean, but it is still on the plan somewhere. I think that's all I had, so we'll go ahead and get that scheduled. And Melly, you will not be here, right?
No.
Okay. All right. All right, any motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Committee reports, Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
I had passed out the run totals for July, everybody should have that, and then also information sheet on our current rope rescue class work. All I have.
Police Chief Donnie Combs.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to let the council know that we're holding our pre-basic reserve class. The first phase is tonight. We're doing our PT test, about 20 guys tonight. Also, our part-time clerk that just started. Everything's doing well. And plus this year, the Indiana Division of International Association for Identification is holding a conference here at the Event Center this year in September. It's the first time that it has been held here, so that is a 3-day event. It's just a refresher course for them, a little conference that they hold. So that's September the 12th, 13th, and 14th. That's all I have.
All right. EMS Director Bobby Mills. No report. Okay, new business. I just want to present a couple of items that the donation committee is recommending. They're recommending a whole sponsorship for the Tiger Open and Special Olympics Dalmatian. That's at the fire truck pull, I believe. They're asking for a donation to Special Olympics. So I'll take a motion on those if you're so inclined.
I'd like to make a motion to take the committee's recommendations.
All right. Can I get a second?
I'll second that motion.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. All right. I'm going to go next to, I'm going to let John go before you, Owen, because I think yours may have a little more discussion. John Johnson, Zombie Walk.
Good evening.
You're not in character.
I'm wearing the shirt.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was in character.
Oh, maybe.
I'm always in character. That's right. The past 2 years, we've done a zombie walk parade, a costume parade down High Street, ending in a concert over at the Music on the River lots. I'm asking to do that same event again this year. We start at the Boy Scouts cabin. We do makeup for a couple hours, free for the kids, and then parade down High Street, ending in a concert right around 2 p.m.
What date you looking at?
October 8th to be the weekend following Farmers Fair.
What time you talking, John? I'm sorry.
Afternoon. I'd like to have a couple hours of music. I've talked to a writer and director about getting a couple horror film stars up here to sign autographs. And I spoke with Abate of Indiana, they're a motorcycle safety organization, about being our charity this year.
Okay.
I'm waiting on a call back from them.
Do you need permission to just utilize the lot?
And keep the stage up an extra week, I think, after I'm not sure how long Music on the River runs.
I think you attached to the A&E permit too, didn't you, before?
Yeah, that was the other one.
You have to get that updated.
Need to see if I can get the A&E permit next door, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, any other questions for John, guys? Tony's ready, he's all ready for it.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Paul?
Great thing. It looked like they had a lot of fun last year.
It was
really
cold. We had 200 people out last year.
Yeah,
And then we also had the local haunted attractions. They brought all the costume characters in, interacted with the crowd, and then we gave away tickets to their attractions for best costume.
Okay. All right.
Age groups.
I'll take that in the form of a motion to allow John to have the zombie walk on October 8th.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry.
Thank you,
Good
gentlemen.
luck. All right, Owen, Cincinnati Bell Internet Service Proposal.
Thank you, Your Honor. In your packets, you'll have a summary report titled Cincinnati Bell Internet Service Proposal. I've got also here tonight to make that presentation to the board, Kent Worley and Dan Mazza with Cincinnati Bell. They'll talk about some of these points in here, but I think the key things that we should focus on are this is a 400% increase in our download speeds and approximately 2,000% increase in our upload speeds. And I know it is a lot. I was kind of shocked when I saw that. And it's a substantial savings per year for the city. So, gentlemen.
Good evening, I'm Kent Worley, this is Dan Mazza. We are with Cincinnati Bell. The proposal that we have there is to install a new fiber-based dedicated internet service as opposed to a mix of the both DSL and cable-based services you have now. Over the last year and a half, we finished building a fiber loop through the city in order to provide these services to you as well as other businesses in the area. Some of the things that it's going to do for you, as Owen mentioned, the speed is going to be a lot higher, as is the reliability. So we're basically saying it's going to work all the time. If you do have issues, you're going to deal with somebody in Cincinnati 24/7, 365, so you're never going to be shipped overseas to talk to somebody who's not going to be able to find Lawrenceburg on a map. In addition to that, with the increased bandwidth, it's going to allow you to start exploring more options IT related down the road. Cloud services, connected city type things for utilities, police, fire. Really, it's going to be something that's going to benefit everybody who's on the network. In addition to that, one of the other things that we realize is a pretty substantial cost savings as opposed to what you're paying now, to the tune of about $1,000 a month plus.
I had a question today, and I think or else I would have, and I certainly didn't know. I guess somebody went out online and seen the agenda, and they seen Cincinnati Bell Internet Service proposal, and they said, will it play Netflix? They heard that it's not compatible with Netflix.
The internet's the internet. Now, if you folks have your network locked down to not allow people to watch Netflix, then it's not going to work for Netflix.
Right. This was a homeowner. And
oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to let them watch Netflix here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Maybe some basketball, March Madness, but.
Yeah. Any legal activity that people would like to use the internet service for, that will
absolutely use it, yes.
Okay. I figured that, but I told her I would ask.
Hey, that's a fair question.
Any questions from people up here? I've been in a couple of the meetings with you guys, and honestly, I'm not an IT person at all, but they've done a pretty good job of explaining what will happen to me and others that were in the meeting. But basically, we could become what they call an internet city downtown. Smart city. Smart city. Smart city. And I don't know. It's just it seems like a pretty neat idea to me. And then if it's all about cost savings, I'm all about it. But
yeah, I think Cincinnati Bell is excited to partner further with the city of Lawrenceburg in terms of the fiber facilities that are already in the city, but also doing more in terms of smart city applications that really could set the city apart for the future. Some of the things that are happening in the downtown Cincinnati around parking and metering and public Wi-Fi, and the police and fire actually using some of that public Wi-Fi spectrum for their own services in the city. This is could be a part of that long term, and we're excited to do more work with the city of Lawrenceburg, and this would be, this dedicated connection is certainly going to speed things up, and you won't have to wait to get on. There has been some concerns here about waiting for, because a lot of the things that are happening are not video related, right? So you download a video, you watch a video, that eats up a lot of bandwidth, right? So this will eliminate that, and this is an easy install. It's not going to take a lot of time, and like Kent said, the support for these services is local. We're right down the street. So
the one thing that I want everybody to know, though, this is not free.
No.
Okay, so we will have an investment in it, and we're still sort of determining what our piece of the investment may look like. So
yeah, we're working through those things. I think for this specific topic, the numbers are rough, but we anticipate a savings of approximately $17,000 per year.
Right.
It could move down from that a little bit. It could move up. Some of the bigger plans that we've discussed that we're trying to work through, the benefits they would provide the community are, each of our students gets an iPad that they take home to do their homework and things like that on. This would allow them to have free internet at their homes. Because right now we have kids who literally have the iPads. They can go home and they can do, but they don't have access to internet. So these are some of the unique betterments that Cincinnati Bell and the utilities in the city that we could manufacture together. It also puts us in a unique position to court outside businesses, whether new or developing or emerging technologies, to come to this area. I think we all understand that Indiana is uniquely positioned for tech jobs. It appeals nationwide in that regard. And our area, in close proximity to Cincinnati, is again uniquely staged to eagerly and aggressively go after those kinds of potentials. And these are the kinds of relationships, I think, that are important for us to try to develop to further those things, to level the playing field for us here in Lawrenceburg with some of the other contenders. So
yeah, when companies look to relocate their headquarters or data centers or call centers or what have you, they're looking for IT infrastructure, and they're looking for companies, or they're looking for communities that can not only support that, but give them, not to use a redundancy or enough recovery that you're not single-threaded with one carrier. So normally, when you have more carriers in your community, the better off you are in terms of providing, diverse and redundant IT services for that customer. So I think it can only help the city that way as well.
Got it. This project's been in the works for a long, long time, and I think that, like Mr. Clausen said, if we want our town to progress, this is a step that we have to take. I'm not even talking about savings. I'm talking about job potentials. I know earlier in my career, we lost 2 prospects because we didn't have situation like this. Would have brought probably 4,000 jobs to the town. So anyway, those are my comments.
Well, the thing I have to ask is how much? I don't want to vote on something I don't know how much it's going to be.
I agree with you, Tony, and I think we need to finish the cost analysis, and we get the numbers, and then we.
And so far, it looks great.
Make an educated
heck, we're cutting our bill in half.
And for the board's knowledge, this is a standalone initiative. So we've touched on a lot of things here this evening, but what we're talking about tonight, what is up for vote tonight, is simply our internet service as it relates to the city of Lawrenceburg. right now we have a mix of Comcast and CenturyLink and all different kinds of services that we have to have, which is costing us approximately $17,000 per year. So whether or not we move forward on all these other things we've talked about, this tonight is a standalone initiative just to get an internet provider in here.
Just for the city.
Just for the city that's much faster at a much more affordable rate.
That's correct.
But we will get you figures on the big.
This is something
Yeah,
we could
this-
talk about in our work session.
Yeah, this is just the first step of getting more bandwidth for the city and consolidating all these different carriers onto one, onto our service.
Have we checked to make sure we're not in contract with any of these other carriers?
Carrie and I have talked about that we've reviewed that. I can't see where we've got a conflict with that.
Okay.
In fact, we contacted Comcast on a number of billing issues, and they didn't even show a contract that I'm aware of.
Okay, so I just want to make this clear to myself. This is for us, and we're going to pay half of what we're paying now, and we're getting more for it. That's great. But is there no installation charge whatsoever?
None.
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 I'm for it.
You want to make, I'll take the freebie charges. I'll take the freebie.
I mean, we could come up with something, but no.
A couple tickets to the zombie walk.
That might be it. We're good.
Tell them, John, hook them up. All right.
Is this strictly business, or is this possibly going to be a residential thing in the future? Strictly business?
The service that we're talking about right here, the $15.50 per month, is just business, just for the city itself, for the buildings on your network.
I'm just looking ahead a little bit, though.
The other part, yeah, this would be for both business and residential customers.
Okay.
You'll get informed all that.
Next
That's good stuff.
I expect we're getting the recommendations from our utility director that this would be a smart move also. So, Tony, I'm gonna let you make a motion here.
I'll make the motion to accept the Cincinnati Bell Internet Service proposal.
Second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming. Anybody got any other new business down here?
No.
Under old business, we'll table Dell's there. Can I get a motion to table?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Any other old business from anyone up here? Mayor?
I'd like to,
Yes, sir.
like to bring up about the 3 Mile. We hadn't heard anything more about that, and I talked to one of the residents up there. I think they're kind of like at a standstill, so maybe put a little fire in our attorney and get something done there.
It's, I have asked him, and there's actually 2 attorneys working on this. From what I understand, this is a very, very abnormal ordeal. And we've committed to doing it, and they're going to do it. It's a matter of finding other, I don't know, I'm not an attorney, cases like it to mimic, because there's a lot of moving pieces to it. But in reality, I mean, and I've talked to residents up there as recent as a week ago about it as well. Right. And there is, I mean, it's in the minutes, it's been voted on, you're protected.
We will take care of that street just like it's ours right now, as of,
we voted on that. That's the way we committed to doing it. But I'm aware, that's what we've all committed to. So, yes. So, but they're working on it. It's just trying to put all those pieces together in a way that's going to be doable. So, any other stuff? I'll make under old business from anyone up here on the council. All right, I'll take comments from the audience. Mr. E.G.
Good evening. E.G. McLaughlin from United Community Bank. Again, my interest was piqued with the Cincinnati Bell Internet service. So this is just in the city, the business of the city. It's not going to be available at this point to other businesses in the city.
Actually, the proposal we had come before us tonight was just to get a different internet provider for the city of Lawrenceburg. But there is business class fiber optics and internet available to any business in the downtown area currently. And I'm welcome you to talk with one of these two gentlemen about that.
Okay, so there'd be like increased bandwidth for both voice and data? Okay, I think that's a great move by the city, personally, so thank you.
And we're meeting with other people. We've met with Ivy Tech. They've got a substantial request. There's been a few other businesses that we've met with. Some of the business that this mayor and council's brought in, the gas company that took Mike Lawrence's business, they've got some unique needs. So this is really something that we anticipate to be very well received amongst the communities.
Are you going to go out to current businesses and talk about this? I mean, you can be overwhelmed by this, and I assume you don't want to be that, but just
I'd let Cincinnati Bell answer that question.
I would say the short answer is yes. Based on starting this relationship with the city, probably, as demand grows, we'll set up, but yeah.
Okay.
We're happy to have any discussions.
Okay, good, thank you.
Just hearing that about Cincinnati Bell, I'd just like to say a word then and kind of just reinforce it. Most of you know I grew up here. I was in Detroit for 37 years. I co-founded an internet service provider there that got into the top 10 in the nation, arguably the top 5. We had dark fiber that we lit up at an OC 768 level. So we had a complex with a lot. It's an encouraging sign. So I just want to say, from a business standpoint too, that's a very encouraging sign when that kind of bandwidth starts getting lit up, even if it's just for the city at the start. So thank you.
Thanks, Jim. I won't ask you what OC 742 whatever means. I don't need to know.
I never knew any of that.
Okay. Your Honor?
All right.
Yes, if we could, just so there's no confusion, can we ask Cincinnati Bell to explain what is currently installed and what is available? Because I don't want people leaving here thinking that they have some product here that is available now.
Sure. You guys want to come up to the mic, please?
So with the fiber loop that we currently have going through the city, we can offer dedicated voice and data services. Now, this isn't the kind of stuff that you'd want to have in your house because it would just be way too expensive and you wouldn't want it. But for businesses that need bandwidth and need the reliability and disaster recovery, VoIP services, it is a very, very good, robust solution.
And on top of the data connectivity that comes into the business, we also have a cloud-based telephony service. So if businesses are tired of buying phone systems and they just want to have what they call a hosted phone system, and you can run your voice services over that data connection as well. So we'll support that as well. So voice and data over a dedicated fiber into your business is what we support.
And that currently exists now on a fiber ring within the city.
Correct. Yes. And just, as we look at every business and their connectivity onto that fiber ring, there are different costs, right? So every business is unique in terms of the amount of data that they require, right? Maybe the number of telephones that they want to use inside that business and their proximity to our fiber ring. So, it's not like, well, every business is the same cost to us. So we have to look at that. But generally speaking, if it's in the downtown proper and it's near the ring, we can talk to any company in the area.
Doesn't the main fiber run down 50? Isn't that what they put in about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, or a while back?
The existing ring that's in today that we're speaking of, I think was installed about 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think they
finished it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony, I think you're talking about level 3.
I knew they ran new fiber down 50 years
That could
ago.
have been another
That was
carrier.
part of that project.
Okay.
I'm sure Joe's going to report on this very, very uniquely, and I'm sure that other businesses might be interested. Right, Joe? He's got all those terminology that
Right.
that I don't know.
Free Netflix for the community. Free Netflix for the community.
Don't say it.
I've got a few extra business cards with me. Owen's got all my information. If any of you are talking to a business owner who is interested in hearing about the service, they are more than welcome to give me a call.
Good.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to the gentleman that was just speaking before you.
Thanks.
All right. Any other audience members want to speak?
Since we're on this, I wanted to just go ahead, I know he won't say anything about it, but Mel Davis, 5 years ago, is the one that brought Cincinnati Bell here, because they installed all their communication stuff right next to my office. So he's not getting as much credit as he should, but I think he had a vision that this was going to happen, so I just wanted to recognize Mel.
Well, thank you, Greg. I get all the credit I need, probably from UCB, so.
Oh, no pun intended, right? All right, thanks,
Greg,
Greg.
I appreciate that.
All right, anyone else? All right, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, kid. How you doing? All right? Yes, please. Very good.
Hey, how'd the party go, Tony?
Yeah. Go upstairs and win money at. I hope so.